For today's video, I do want to speak about Marc Guiu moving to Chelsea. It is one of the strangest stories I have seen in the past few weeks. Never have we ever expected for Marc Guiu to move to a team like Chelsea. We did not even expect for Marc Guiu to move to any club. The whole idea was for Guiu to stay at Barcelona for at the very least one more season and hopefully maybe even sign the contract extension that was offered by Joan Laporta 3 weeks ago. But it does seem like Chelsea will be signing the player very soon. Many sources have claimed that talks between Chelsea and Marc Guiu are advancing. Chelsea plans to trigger Marc Guiu's release clause of €6 million. The agreement with the player on a long-term deal is very close. Barcelona offered a renewal, but no final answer has been given from the player. So once again, it's strange to me because Marc Guiu has been with Barcelona since he was a little kid. He has been made through La Masia, and now just all of a sudden he wants to move to a team like Chelsea. Out of all Premier League clubs, no disrespect to Chelsea, but Marc Guiu could have easily chosen a different Premier League club besides Chelsea, because when you look at Chelsea and you look at their squad, how in the world is Marc Guiu going to be receiving any minutes at Chelsea, right? Because I'm assuming that the only reason why he wants to move away from FC Barcelona is because he's looking for minutes. At least that is what I'm assuming. Maybe could it be something else? Because usually when we see a player go to a team like Chelsea, most of the time, 90% of the time, those young players or just players in general go there to receive massive commissions and compensations, right? Higher salaries. So let's get one thing very straight. Barcelona have been wanting to renew Marc Guiu. They know his talent. They know what he can do. Hansi Flick, Joan Laporta, and Deco probably know that he is somebody that can become great at just 18 years old. But Marc Guiu and his agent, whoever is surrounding him right now, is speaking to him and saying, you don't need to be here at Barcelona. You have a much better chance to be financially successful and sportingly successful at a team elsewhere besides FC Barcelona. Even Xavi Hernandez, the previous coach before Hansi Flick, betted on Marc Guiu in the previous season by using him here and there, and when he got those minutes, Marc Guiu capitalized off of that and scored goals. So if Xavi Hernandez trusts the player, there has to be something there, right? Because every player that Xavi Hernandez has been calling up upon ended up being a great reinforcement, like Obarsi, Lamine Yamal, Fermin Lopez. He does bet on multiple talents, and Marc Guiu was one of them. If we look at Marc Guiu's performance at Barcelona Athletic, he played 17 games, scored 6 goals, provided 4 assists, was directly involved in a goal every 85 minutes at just 18 years old. So he has been an exceptional La Masia player and a penalty area specialist. And so stepping away from that, right, I'm going to begin my speculation on why I believe Marc Guiu is leaving FC Barcelona. I mean, it's not 100% official, but it's just the fact that we're hearing that it is almost closed and that it is advanced. We should not even be hearing this in the first place. Marc Guiu, if he really truly wanted to stay at FC Barcelona, he would have done what Vitor Roque did. Vitor Roque was being eyed by so many clubs in the past few months, but he did not want to go anywhere. He wanted to continue to stay at Barcelona and work towards success. He could have done what other players did like Obarsi, Lamine Yamal, consider other options, but he is not doing that. There's a club out there, Chelsea, that is persuading the player, which is Marc Guiu. So my speculation is I do think that he is rushing to get into an A team, whether that's Barcelona or somewhere else. Maybe he does believe that because he has been performing so well at Barcelona Athletic that he should see first team football. He does not want to go and play at Barca Athletic next season at the age of 18, 19 years old, knowing that he is being involved in a goal every 85 minutes. Maybe that is the way he has been approaching this whole thing. And if that is truly the reason, right, it is because of supposedly the lack of minutes in the first team, then why would you go to a team like Chelsea? Let's really think about that, because if you look at Chelsea's squad, they have David Washington, they have Fofana, they have Armando Broja, they have Nicholas Jackson, they have 4 total center forwards, all under the age of 24 years old, players who are basically up and coming. And Chelsea paid massive money for those strikers. They have paid 12 million for one player, 22 million for another player, 35 million for Nicholas Jackson. I can see Marc Guiu being very challenged to get first team minutes at Chelsea, especially since Chelsea are going to be having high expectations next season. They have to make it to the top 4 to go to the Champions League after they failed to go to the Champions League for the next season. Could it possibly be that he wants to sign with Chelsea's first team and then be loaned out to a different club? Because then that changes everything for me. If you're not going to be getting any minutes in the first team at Chelsea, and you also don't mind being loaned out to a different club by Chelsea, could it possibly be that you're only moving there to receive a higher salary? Because if you sportingly really cared about your career, you would stay at Barcelona. You would develop at Barca Athletic for one more season and being called up much more by the first team next season under Hansi Flick. If you truly cared about that and you cared about your progression, you would have stayed at Barcelona, because at a team like Chelsea, sportingly, it does not make any sense. The only way I can see you benefiting off of moving moving from FC Barcelona to Chelsea is because you want to gain more money. It has to be because of the higher salary. It just must be, because I refuse to believe that he thinks he can get more minutes at Chelsea than at FC Barcelona. And I understand why maybe he could be seeing it in that way, right? Because you have Vitor Roque who wants minutes. Lewandowski is also going to be trusted by Hansi Flick, two people who have worked together before at Bayern Munich, but still, I don't understand that, because this is only momentarily, very temporary. Lewandowski is going to be gone before we know it. Vitor Roque is also 18 years old. How fun would it be for Marc Guiu to compete with Vitor Roque at the same age? Guiu is only 18. He has to have some sort of patience. But again, unless he just wants more money, then so be it. If Marc Guiu wants to go to Chelsea to receive more funds, then I just don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you guys. It is what it is. Because if Marc Guiu truly cared about his career and wanted to spend his time at FC Barcelona, he would have renewed at the exact same time of Hector Fort. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Barcelona have been renewing so many youngsters in the past 2 months. We went from renewing Hector Fort to Kubarsi to Lamine Yamal to Fermin Lopez. We have been renewing so many Barcelona Academy players, and Marc Guiu was one of them, but he was one out of like 6 that has not responded. He just does not seem like he's interested. And then I was also thinking about another thing, right? Could it possibly be because Hansi Flick does not believe in the player? Maybe Flick told Marc Guiu that he does not trust him, he's not part of the system. I also don't believe in that. I do think that he is the perfect fit for a system like Hansi Flick. Marc Guiu presses well. He runs behind the defensive line so well. Everything is so well timed. If you go look at the type of goals that he has been scoring, his type of goals are very much like Erling Haaland, players who run behind the defensive line. Very athletic, very aggressive, always looking for the goal. He is a pure number 9, a type of number 9 that Hansi Flick would love to have. But again, going back to what I continue to say, it has to be about money. And so yeah, Barcelona is going to be receiving 6 million euros for the player. It's not really a lot. Many have questioned, why do academy players get sold for so low, right? Many have claimed that if these players were in the Premier League coming up through the academies, they would have been worth triple the amount. The reason why Marc Guiu is not being sold for around 18 to 25 to 30 million euros is because Marc Guiu never signed a contract extension with FC Barcelona. If Barcelona wanted to sell Marc Guiu for 20 million euros or 18 million euros, they could have successfully renewed the player and then sell him 2 months later for a bigger amount. It's one of the reasons why, if you look at the worth of Hector Fort right now, we can sell him for a big amount because he just renewed with FC Barcelona. Marc Guiu needs to do the exact same thing, but because he hasn't, his release clause is going to remain the same at just 6 million euros. And so I think that this is going to be the way that Barcelona are going to go. They're going to go into the next season losing on a striker, and all of the attention and the focus is going to be on the development of Vitor Roque. I think that Vitor Roque's progression is going to be more important than ever, because if Lewandowski ever does get injured next season, for whatever reason, because nothing is guaranteed, of course, we're going to be counting on Vitor Roque, and he has to deliver. He's going to be our only option. I'm also going to be very interested to see how Barcelona react from this, knowing that they're going to be losing on a striker. Could Barcelona go for a cheap number 9 signing to reinforce the first team squad, or are they going to dig through the academy to see what number 9 is on the rise? And let me tell you, I'm going to give a sneak peek to everybody here. One of the players that we are going to be talking about in the very near future is going to be Samako Nomoko Tore, who is a 16-year-old right winger, left winger, and also a center forward for Cadet A under 16 team in La Masia. He's not a pure number 9 like Marc Guiu, but he is definitely a player to watch, because man, let me tell you, is this guy breaking records in the academy right now. So that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.